Every day, thousands of people visited the Statue of Liberty. They took photos, laughed, and left. To them, it was just a tall statue standing in the middle of the water. A symbol of freedom, a piece of history. But to Jack, it felt different. Jack was not a tourist. He had lived in New York all his life. He was a quiet man, an engineer by job, but lonely in heart. He came to Liberty Island that day with no real reason. He just wanted to feel something. The day was cloudy. A light wind blew across the water. Jack walked slowly around the statue's base. He stared up at her cold, green face. Something about her eyes didn't look lifeless. They looked sad. Almost real. Then something strange happened. As Jack placed his hand on the statue's stone base, he felt warmth. It wasn't hot from the sun. No, it was something else, like a heartbeat, a pulse. His fingers began to tingle. He quickly pulled his hand back. "What the hell?" he whispered. He looked around. No one seemed to notice. Families with kids, couples, guides. All normal. Only he had felt it. Curious, Jack stepped forward again. This time, he placed both hands on the stone. Boom. His mind filled with a strange sound. A low hum, like a whisper from deep under the earth. His eyes widened. The stone under his hands began to glow faintly. Very faint, like the shimmer of moonlight underwater. Then, something even stranger. The statue blinked. Only for a second. Jack stumbled backward. Heart racing, breath caught in his throat. Did he imagine it? Did the statue just blink? He stared up at the face again. Still stone, still calm. But now something was different. Her expression had changed. Not much, just slightly. The corner of her mouth was softer. Her eyes seemed to look back at him. He shook his head. No way. "This is crazy," he muttered. But his hand still felt warm. He returned home that night unable to sleep. Over and over again, the image played in his mind. The blinking eyes, the glowing stone, the pulse in his hand. He searched online. Statue of Liberty blinked. Strange heat from statue. Nothing. No one else saw what he saw. He thought about telling someone. But who would believe him? Next morning he went back. This time, he brought gloves, tools, and a small scanner he used at work to check metal temperatures. He pretended to be just another visitor. But once he reached the same spot at the statue's base, he placed his hand again. No glove. The warmth returned, but this time it spoke, not in words. Not like a voice in his ear. It spoke through feelings, sadness, loneliness, long waiting, and hope. Jack's eyes filled with tears. It wasn't a statue. It was someone. Someone trapped. Someone waiting for help. He stepped back again, heart pounding. Then he heard something soft. Like wind, but not from above, from below. "You're not like the others." A faint, broken voice said. Jack froze. His eyes scanned the area. No speakers, no actors. Just him standing near the giant metal woman. Who said that? He asked. Silence. He pressed his ear against the cold surface. "Why did you come?" the voice asked again, this time closer, clearer, but still weak. I don't know," Jack replied softly. "I just felt like I had to." A pause. Then, "I have waited a long time." The voice sounded female, tired, like someone who had been crying for centuries. Jack's hand trembled as he pressed it. Back on the stone. "I'm not crazy," he said quietly to himself. "You're real, aren't you?" No answer, but then her eye moved, very slightly. This time, it was no illusion. Jack dropped to his knees, mind spinning. Was this statue really a person? An alien? Was she alive? Who had put her there? And why? Jack couldn't stop shaking, even after he left Liberty Island. The blinking, the voice, the warmth, it was all real. It wasn't a dream, and he wasn't losing his mind. That statue was alive. Or maybe it was never a statue to begin with. He didn't tell anyone. Who would believe him? He needed answers first. Real ones. So he stayed quiet and made a plan. The next night, Jack returned. He dressed in dark clothes and waited until the last ferry left. He hid behind a maintenance shed, holding a small flashlight, a portable scanner, and an old communication device. He once built for fun. He didn't even know if it would work. But if she could speak, maybe she could speak through sound waves too. Midnight passed. The wind howled across the island. But the statue stood tall, silent, cold. Jack stepped closer, looking up at the face that had once blinked at him. Then, he spoke softly. "I came back," he said. "You said you waited, so I'm here. Talk to me." The wind stopped. Silence filled the air. Then the hum returned. Low and soft, like music underwater. Jack placed his palm on the base again. The stone felt warm, like before. "You returned?" The voice whispered. "Yes," he said, almost breathless. "Who are you?" A pause, then, "I don't remember all of it. But I was once called Illyra." Jack frowned. "Illyra? You're not human, are you?" "I was never human," she replied. "I came long ago, from the stars." Jack's heart pounded. "Then why are you here? Why are you part of this statue?" Her voice trembled. "I wasn't supposed to be like this. I came to help. But the humans, they feared me, betrayed me. I was hunted. I had no choice. I turned myself to stone, to sleep, to hide." Jack looked up at the face that everyone thought was just metal and copper. It was a mask, a cage, a tomb. "How long have you been here?" he asked. "I don't know. Time feels like a dream. A nightmare with no end." Jack's fingers gripped the scanner tighter. "Can I help you? Is there a way to free you?" "I don't know," she whispered, "but you are different. You're the first one who listened. The first who touched with care." Jack sat on the cold ground, flashlight off. The moonlight was enough. It painted Illyra's face in silver, and for the first time, he noticed something strange: fine cracks running across her lips and forehead, not from age, but like something was changing, breaking free. "Are you waking up?" he asked. "I think so," she said, her voice now clearer, stronger. "You woke something inside me. A connection, a memory." "Then I'll keep talking to you," Jack promised. "Every night, I'll stay with you." She was silent for a moment. "Do you have a name?" Jack smiled softly. "I'm Jack. I fix broken things." "Then maybe," Illyra whispered, "you were meant to find me." He looked up at her again. The cracks were spreading slowly. Her left eye, still mostly stone, had a faint blue light behind it. Not a reflection. A glow. Jack felt something stir in the air. It wasn't just her waking up, it was something bigger. Something powerful. "Jack," she said slowly, "if I wake up fully, they will come." "Who?" he asked. "The ones who put me here. The ones who never wanted me to." "Speak again." Jack stood up. "Let them come," he said firmly. "They'll have to go through me first." She was quiet, then said, "You are brave. For someone so soft inside." Jack chuckled. "I've been called worse." Then the ground under him shook, just slightly. Jack looked down at his feet. The base of the statue had a new line, a glowing crack. It pulsed with soft blue energy, like a heartbeat under stone. Illyra's voice trembled. "It has begun. I cannot stop it now. I'm waking." Jack whispered back, "Then I'll be here when you do." Jack sat on the edge of Liberty Island's base wall, staring up at her again. Illyra, the alien girl hidden inside the statue. The wind blew cold, but he didn't move. His mind was burning with questions. What was she? Why did she choose Earth? Why did humans turn against her? And why was he the one to wake her? As the moonlight touched the cracked metal surface, he saw more of her hidden glow, thin lines of soft blue light trailing down the folds of her robe. Her eyes still looked frozen, but it pulsed now. Alive, breathing. He placed his hand gently on the base again. The warmth greeted him instantly. "Illyra," he whispered, "I want to know everything. Why were you sent here? Who did this to you?" A pause, then her voice returned clearer than before, no longer just a whisper. "I came before your great wars. Before your cities. I was part of a silent pact," she began slowly. "Your world was young. My people saw promise in humans. Emotion, curiosity, compassion. We came to protect you quietly from what was coming from the stars." Jack blinked. "So, Earth was chosen?" "Yes," Illyra said. "We were called the Sentinels, guardians for young civilizations. I was one of them." Jack's heart beat faster. This wasn't just a story, it was history. A history no one knew. "But things went wrong," she continued, her voice now heavy with sadness. "Humans feared what they didn't understand. A few of us were discovered. They called us demons, monsters. Some tried to dissect us. Others hunted us." Jack clenched his fists. "And you were caught?" "No," Illyra said. "I ran, I hid. I wanted to believe humans were good. But they were scared, and they destroyed what they feared. So I made the choice to sleep, to turn my form into something they would not fear, something they would even worship." Jack looked up again. "The statue. They made it," she said, "but they didn't know. I infused my body into its core. Over time I became part of it. I was forgotten." Jack's mind spun. "And now? What happens now?" "You woke." "Me," Illyra said simply. "My energy responds to emotion. Your kindness, your curiosity, it pulled me back." Jack took a shaky breath. "What about the others? The other Sentinels?" "They are gone," she said. "Some died. Some escaped. I may be the last." A long silence passed between them. Jack sat quietly, staring out over the water. "You know," he said softly, "we built everything around you, called you a gift, a symbol of freedom. But we never knew the truth." "I know," she replied. "It is ironic." Jack gave a small smile, then her tone changed. "Jack, someone is coming." "What?" Her voice became urgent. "They have been watching since I stirred. Sensors, deep below. Hidden tech that still works. They know." "I'm waking." Jack stood quickly, eyes scanning the island. "Who? Government?" "No," Illyra said. "Not human. The ones who betrayed the pact. Alien forces who wanted Earth for themselves." Jack felt a cold wave pass through him. "Then we don't have much time." "No," Illyra agreed. "But I can protect you. For now, you must help me finish the process. Break the last locks." "What locks?" "Underneath," she said. "There is a chamber sealed with ancient codes. Your technology cannot open it, but your emotion can." Jack looked confused. "My emotion?" "You care, Illyra. Sighed, you believe." "That's all I need," he nodded. "Where do I go?" Illyra gave him directions. An old maintenance tunnel near the edge of the statue's base. No one used it anymore. Jack found the rusted metal door half buried behind overgrown bushes. He used his tools to break the lock and stepped into the darkness below. The tunnel was narrow. The air was thick with dust and silence. But at the end, he found it a round chamber carved with alien symbols. In the center, a circular pad with glowing edges. "Place your hand." Illyra's voice echoed. Jack stepped forward, heart pounding. He placed his palm on the pad. It lit up instantly. The entire room began to hum. Above ground, the statue shimmered. Light spread from her eyes down her arms. The cracks widened. Her fingers reached inside the chamber. Walls moved. Panels shifted. A second door slowly slid open, revealing a core of blue light like a beating heart. "You did it," Illyra whispered. "You've opened my soul." The next morning, Jack didn't go to work. He couldn't. His thoughts were filled with Illyra, the alien girl inside the Statue of Liberty. Her voice still echoed in his head. Her glow still burned behind his eyes. She wasn't just alive. She was ancient, powerful, and now she was waking. Jack paced his small apartment, nervous. She had said they were watching. That someone or something not human had been alerted when she stirred. But she hadn't mentioned one thing: humans were watching too. Because at that very moment, on a dark screen inside a hidden government bunker, a red dot was blinking on Liberty Island. A man in a black suit leaned forward. "She's waking," he said, coldly. His name was Director Salter. He worked for a secret division of Earth Defense, the kind of department the public didn't know existed. His team had been tracking unusual energy signatures for decades, but nothing ever activated. Until now. "Send in a silent drone," Salter ordered. "I want a full visual scan of the statue. And find the man who triggered it." Back at the island, Jack returned through the same tunnel. He carried a backpack of tools, batteries, and food. Illyra didn't eat like humans, but she still asked for warmth and light. When he stepped inside the hidden chamber, the core was still glowing. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat in sleep. "I'm here," Jack said, softly. Illyra's voice answered immediately, stronger than ever. "Thank you for returning." "I wouldn't leave you alone," Jack replied. There was a pause. "They are near," she whispered. "I can feel their eyes in the sky." Jack frowned. "Alien?" "No," Illyra said. "Your people." Jack froze. He ran outside, squinting at the sky. At first, he saw nothing, but then he noticed a faint shimmer. Something small floating, watching. A drone. He ducked into the shadows. "How did they know?" He whispered. "I don't know," Illyra answered. "But they are searching for the source of my signal. They will come." Jack's breath quickened. "Then we have to leave." "I cannot move yet," she said. "My body is still locked to the statue's form, but my mind is free. I need more time." Jack clenched his fists. "Then I'll protect you." Suddenly, a voice echoed through a small speaker hidden in the tunnel wall. "Identify yourself," a robotic voice ordered. "You are trespassing on federal property. Step into the open with hands raised." Jack's eyes widened. They had found him. "They're already here," he whispered. "What do I do?" Illyra's voice was calm. "Trust your instinct. Say nothing about me. Let them believe what they want." Jack stepped into the open, slowly raising his hands. Two men in black suits approached him from a nearby boat dock. One held a scanner. The other had a badge that didn't say much. "Name?" The taller man asked. "Jack Rayner," he replied. "What are you doing here after hours?" Jack hesitated. "I'm an engineer. I fix things. I was checking the foundation. Just curious." "Curious, huh?" The second man muttered, scanning Jack's backpack. "Do you know anything about the unusual activity near the statue?" Jack forced a confused expression. "Unusual activity?" The scanner beeped. The agent frowned. "He's been near the anomaly," he said quietly to his partner. Jack's heart pounded. "But he didn't move." "Take him in," the first man said. "No." Illyra's voice whispered urgently in Jack's ear, though no one else could hear her. "You must escape now." But Jack had no time to think. Suddenly, the sky above them lit up with a bright flash. Everyone turned their heads upward. A beam of light burst out of the statue's torch, just for a second. But it was enough. The agent stared in shock. "What was that?" Jack used the moment. He ran. He dove back into the bushes and slid into the maintenance tunnel. Behind him, shouting echoed. But he kept running. Down through the corridor, into the chamber again. The core's glow was bright now. Alive. They saw it. Jack gasped. "They saw your light." "I had no choice," Illyra said. "They were going to take you." Jack sat on the floor, catching his breath. "What happens now?" Illyra was silent for a moment. Then she said, "They'll return. With more men, with weapons. But I am almost free. I need one final spark." Jack looked up. "What kind of spark?" "Your trust," she whispered. "Your belief. Touch the core again. And don't be afraid." He walked forward, heart-pounding. And then he placed his hand on the light. Jack's palm rested on the glowing core, warm and alive like a living heartbeat. Blue light surrounded his fingers, not burning, but pulsing softly like it welcomed him. As he closed his eyes, he felt something deeper than words. Images. Not memories of his own, but Illyra's. He saw a vast silver ship landing on Earth, long before any city was built. He saw her stepping onto a young green world, planting a beacon of peace. He saw humans gathering around her, fearful, then violent. He saw her run, cry, and finally sleep inside a statue meant to protect, not imprison. When Jack opened his eyes, the light had dimmed, but something had changed. The humming sound was gone. In its place, a quiet stillness. Like calm after a storm. "It is done," Illyra's voice whispered. "I am free." Jack blinked. "You mean you can move?" "Not yet," she replied gently, "but I know." Longer bound to the statue. "My body is still inside it, but my spirit, my energy is fully awake. That's good, right?" Jack asked. "It is," she said. "But now, they will come in force." Suddenly, a rumble shook the tunnel above. Jack spun toward the noise. Dust rained down from the ceiling. Shouting, heavy boots, more agents. "They're here!" Jack shouted, "You must leave the island," Illyra said quickly. "Now, there's a tunnel hidden behind the chamber. It was built long ago by those who tried to save me. It leads into the river." Jack didn't ask questions. He grabbed his backpack, turned, and looked at the glowing wall. "What about you?" "I will slow them," she said calmly. "But you must go. They won't kill me. They want to use me." Jack clenched his fists. "Then I'm coming back for you." "I know," she said softly. "That is why I believe in you." Jack pushed against the wall she had shown him. A soft click echoed, and a panel slid open. Cold air rushed in. A narrow tunnel filled with cobwebs and stone steps led downward. Into darkness. Behind him, the chamber's glow dimmed. "I'll come back," he whispered again. "I'll be waiting." Illyra replied. As Jack ran through the hidden tunnel, agents swarmed the surface. Armed men surrounded the statue. Drones hovered overhead, scanning for life. But none of them expected what happened next. The entire statue pulsed once bright blue, and then everything. Electronics stopped. The drones fell from the sky. The radios buzzed and died. The lights flickered out. Panic spread. Director Salter stepped forward, staring up at Lady Liberty's face. Except now, it wasn't just metal. For a second, just a second, he saw a woman's eyes looking down at him, glowing, aware, watching. Jack emerged from a metal hatch on the rocky edge of the island. Waves crashed against the shore. His lungs burned from running. In the distance, he saw the city lights, but he couldn't risk the docks. Then he saw an old boat, half tied to a rock. A maintenance skiff. Rusted, barely floating. "Good enough," Jack muttered. He jumped in, hot-wired the engine like he had done with broken bikes as a kid, and the engine coughed to life. Behind him, helicopters circled the statue. Bright lights stabbed into the sky. The government was not hiding this anymore. They knew something had changed. The world would know soon. Jack steered the boat toward the city, eyes fixed on the horizon. But part of him stayed behind with her. Hours later, Jack reached a small safe house he used during his traveling jobs. It was outside the city, hidden near an old rail line. He covered the boat and powered down every device he had. No phones, no internet, only silence. He sat at a wooden table, stared at a candle, and whispered, "Illyra, are you still with me?" There was no answer. Then, faintly like wind brushing, Against his mind came her voice. I'm here. Jack exhaled in relief. They'll come for me. You know that, right? Yes, she replied. But they won't find you easily. I sent out false signals to distract them. He blinked. You can do that? I'm more than they know, she said simply. Jack smiled. Of course you are. Then he grew serious. What do we do now? There was a pause. Then Alira said, There's something I haven't told you. Something buried deep inside my core. A message left by the other sentinels. A last hope. Jack leaned forward. What kind of message? One that could change everything, she said. But we need to find the key. Jack's eyes narrowed. Where is it? Not on this island, Alira whispered, but hidden in a place called Roswell. Asterisk rain fell quietly outside the safe house as Jack sat near the window, watching the droplets race down the glass. His mind was full. He had escaped Liberty Island. Alira had fully awakened. But now, something even bigger was unfolding. Roswell. The name echoed in his thoughts. Jack turned toward the corner of the room, where he had pinned an old paper map of the United States to the wall. He circled New York, then he drew a shaky line. To the desert city in New Mexico. What's in Roswell? Jack finally asked. Alira's voice came from within his mind, not through speakers. Not through sound, but through feeling, like thoughts passed through a dream. A ship, she answered. The one that brought me here. And the message buried inside it, Jack frowned. The crash? Yes, she replied. They said it was weather, a balloon. But it wasn't. My people left something there. Something only I can read. Jack grabbed his backpack. Then, we go there. It's not so easy, Alira said gently. That site is locked down, buried, unguarded. Jack zipped his bag shut, so we break in. For the first time, he heard Alira laugh soft and warm. You're very human, she whispered. 3 days later, Jack arrived in Roswell. He wore simple clothes and a dusty hat, looking like any tired traveler passing through. But beneath his calm look, he carried blueprints, hacked radio codes, and a plan thanks to Alira. She guided him with precision. Her memories, now fully unlocked, showed her the underground layout. She even helped him shut down one of the satellite cameras above the site, just long enough to slip through the old security fence. The real crash site wasn't the one shown in museums or documentaries. That was a cover. The real one was buried under a flat, empty field surrounded by dry brush and silence. Jack reached it at night, just as the moon began to rise. He dropped into a hidden shaft she had shown him, landing in an old concrete corridor filled with sand, dust, and cobwebs. As he walked deeper, lights on the wall flickered. Some of them still worked. Then he saw it, half buried in stone and steel. Was a broken alien vessel, smooth, silver, and ancient. It looked like no human machine. Symbols glowed faintly along its side. This is it, Alira whispered in awe. My people's craft. I was born in that ship. And nearly died in it too. Jack placed his hand on the side of the hull. Just like the statue, it pulsed with warmth. There's a chamber inside, she said. It contains the message, a final signal. We never knew if humans would help us or destroy us, but we recorded both paths. The message decides which one is real. Jack stepped through the broken opening and found himself inside the quiet heart of the ship. The walls shimmered like liquid metal. Strange light danced above him. At the far end, a crystal orb floated inside a sealed compartment. This is it, Alira said. Touch it. Let it read you. Jack approached slowly. His hand hovered above the orb. What if it sees something bad in me? He asked. You came for me, Alira replied. That is all it needs to know. He touched the orb. A flash of blue light filled the chamber, and suddenly they awoke. Not in Roswell. Not just there. All over Earth. In statues no one noticed. In mountains, underwater temples, and forgotten ruins. Other sentinels began to stir. Illyra's signal had traveled through space and time. And the orb sent the call. The Forgotten were waking. Back in New York, the Statue of Liberty pulsed again. This time not just her torch, but her whole body glowed softly, like a giant heartbeat. And from across the world, strange reports began to surface. A statue in Japan blinked. A carved face in Peru shed a tear. A stone lion in Africa growled softly under the full moon. The news was filled with panic. People called it magic. A virus. A hoax. But Jack and Illyra knew better. "They're here," she said, her voice full of wonder and fear. "My brothers and sisters. They're alive. But why now?" Jack asked. "Because the orb chose you," she replied. "It chose the path where humans save, not destroy. And now, everything will change." Jack looked at the glowing ship around him. "Then we're running out of time." "Yes," Illyra said. "There is one more thing left. I must be released, fully, not just my mind but my body." Jack nodded. "Then let's go back to New York." Illyra's voice trembled with something new hope. "I've waited centuries to be free," she whispered. "And now, the world must see what I truly am." Jack stood once more on the edge of Liberty Island, his heart pounding as waves crashed against the shore. The sky was heavy with clouds. Above, helicopters circled. Drones hummed like angry insects. The world had seen too much in the last 24 hours. News had exploded across every screen. Statues around the globe are moving. Aliens among us? The truth behind the monuments. Governments panicked. The public was divided. Some prayed, others rioted. But none of them knew the truth like Jack did. She was not here to destroy. She was here to protect. And now, Jack had returned to finish what he started. He slipped through the broken tunnel once again, heart full of fire. As he moved deeper, the humming returned. This time, it wasn't faint. It was alive. It filled the air, the stone, his bones. Illyra's voice echoed softly. "You came back for me." Jack smiled. "I said I would." Inside the hidden chamber, the core had changed. It wasn't just glowing anymore, it was shining. The light danced like stars trapped in glass. Blue energy flowed into the walls. The cracks in the statue had widened. "I'm ready," she said, "but I need you. You must unlock the final seal." Jack nodded and reached into his backpack. He pulled out the orb from Roswell. Its glow had never faded. He placed it onto the core gently. The entire statue above them rumbled. Up on the surface, agents shouted, "The structure's moving. The statue is collapsing." But they were wrong. It wasn't falling, it was rising. Stone shattered, metal tore away like fabric. The Statue of Liberty's form cracked open. And something else began to emerge from inside. First a hand, sleek, silver blue, lined with ancient symbols. Then an arm, a shoulder, a body glowing with celestial light. The face came last, no longer a still copper mask, but a living being, eyes the color of deep space, hair that shimmered like moonlight on water. She stood tall and regal, taller than any human, with wings that shimmered like crystal folded against her back. Illyra had awakened. And the world watched. On every screen, people gasped. Some fell to their knees. Some ran in fear, but one thing was clear: she wasn't a statue anymore. She was alive, and Jack stood at her feet. Drones flew closer. Gunships circled. Tanks rolled onto the mainland shore. A message came through loudspeakers. "Step away from the alien being. Surrender now." Jack didn't move. Illyra looked down at him. Her voice wasn't just in his mind now, it was in the air, in the sky, in every human ear. "You feared us because you never knew us," she said. "You locked us in stone, called us myth. But we watched you. We waited for the day one of you would be brave enough to see beyond fear." She stepped forward. The ground trembled. Tanks aimed. Jack raised his hands and shouted, "Don't shoot. She's not here to hurt anyone." A man in uniform barked back, then explained the statues waking up across the world. Jack didn't flinch, because they were asleep. We locked them away without knowing the truth. We feared them without listening. Illyra placed her hand on Jack's shoulder. He turned to her. "Then speak to them," he said softly. She nodded, eyes glowing like stars. She looked into the cameras, into the hearts of the world, and said, "We do not come to rule. We come to heal. The universe is changing, and Earth is not alone anymore. But you must choose fear or unity." Then she extended her hand to Jack, without hesitation. He took it, and in that moment, something changed. The orb in the chamber exploded. With light, across the world, every other sentinel paused and looked toward Earth. One by one, they stepped out of hiding. Not to fight, not to conquer, but to stand beside her. Illyra had called them, and Jack had reminded them that humans could still be worth saving. The helicopters backed away. The tanks lowered their barrels. A single child in the crowd stepped forward on the shore and waved. Then another. Then dozens more. Slowly, fear turned to silence, and silence turned to awe. Later that night, Jack and Illyra stood at the edge of the water, looking at the lights of the city. "You're free now," Jack said quietly. "You could leave Earth, go anywhere." She looked at him with soft eyes. "I could, but I won't." Jack raised an eyebrow. "Why?" She smiled. "Because I wasn't waiting to be saved, Jack. I was waiting for you." Jack chuckled. "You waited a long time." Illyra stepped closer, her voice gentle. "Some things are worth waiting for."